Hello, everyone, and welcome to the virtual college fair this evening. We're so excited to have y'all here. We have 6 wonderful institutions here to share a little bit more about what each of them do, and we'll get started with that just momentarily. But before we kick things off, I do want to make sure you understand the format for the session as well as how to ask your questions. So we have 6 institutions. Each will have 6 minutes to present more about what they do. And then we will have some general time for questions at the end as well. But I would recommend sending your questions throughout the next 45 minutes through the Q&A. So you'll find that Q&A button down at the bottom of your screen. You can ask questions at any point. Like I said, I do not recommend saving them all till the end. Feel free to communicate with our college representatives through that Q&A. A reminder that your camera and microphone are off, and they'll remain off throughout the full session, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. That Q&A is your best way to interact with our representatives this evening. There are an additional hour of sessions for you to check out and sign up for. So remember to check those out if you haven't already. And a reminder that this session is being recorded and that you can find this recording within the next few days at strivescan.com/Tennessee. But with that, I'll go ahead and pass things off to our first presenter for the session, which is Southeastern University.
All right. Well, hello. I hope that everyone can see me. My name's Tyler. I'm a representative for SCU, Southeastern University, and I'm going to go ahead and get started by hopefully sharing my screen and hopefully sharing a video with you as well.
Fire up. It's that feeling deep in your bones. That desire to be part of something bigger than yourself. It's what drives us, propels us. It's what brought you here. Together, we believe. We dream. We strive for the impossible. Innovation is our fuel. Community is our breath. We discover. We push boundaries. Experiencing life as it was created to be. So fire up. Fire up your imagination. To chase. To create. To dare. Fire up to be the change this world is waiting for. We are waiting for you.
All right. So we are Southeastern University, and we are located here in Lakeland, Florida. We're a private Christian university if you've never heard of us. And if you don't know where Lakeland is, it's right between Orlando and Tampa. So it's an awesome location. And for being a private university, we actually have an incredible amount of international students. We have students from every state as well. So SCU really does continue to grow. And it's been amazing to see that as a student and now full-time as a counselor. So a little bit about me, I graduated just a couple of years ago. I was a kinesiology major, and I actually played football here, and that was a lot of fun. As you got to see in the video, we have an incredible stadium, an incredible life on campus for athletics. And I will say that when I was in high school, it was difficult to find a Christian university, honestly, that was actually good at sports. So it felt like a dime a dozen to find a school that cared about me in the classroom, on the football field, and spiritually as well. And of course, I did a lot of other things here as well. I was able to earn scholarships, which also helped through being a resident assistant, overseeing our tour guide teams, and many other things. So that's a little bit of what I did, but how did I end up at SCU? Well, I'm a Florida guy. I know that many of you are likely Tennessee people, and Tennessee is awesome. My fiance's sisters are both actually at Lee University, which is a great school over there too. But anyways, I went up to Minnesota my first year of college, and it was very cold. So I realized quickly that I wanted to be closer to home, that I wanted to be near the beach, and that I needed the small classroom and intentional spiritual environment. So that's how I ended up here. And ever since, my life has absolutely changed. And a lot of that came in the classroom. So academic highlights for you, our most popular majors would come from kinesiology, psychology, biological science with various concentrations, the Bachelor of Social Work, as well as elementary education. So those are just 5 of the biggest or most popular. I apologize. And our newest majors would be aviation, political science, tourism and hospitality management, language, culture, and trade. So SCU has blossomed since I've been here, adding, I think it's over 10 different majors now. We've added over 5 different graduate degrees since I've been here. In the last 10 years, we've added over 15 athletic programs, all of which are scholarship too. So there's a lot to offer here, whether you were coming out of high school or as a transfer student. It really has been incredible to see the growth, even with aviation, crazy as that is. Now, nursing, I can actually speak well to this. My fiance is a nurse in Tampa, and she graduated last year from SCU. Absolutely loved her time being in a small class size of about 15 students. And that is certainly difficult to find at a Christian university or really for any nursing programs. And of course, they boast an excellent 92% pass rate on the NCLEX, and that's the first time pass rate. So really, really well done job by the nursing department here, and that's something we're proud of. Now, education is another incredible program with 95% of those students actually being offered a job before they graduate. And often we'll have ministry students, education students, kinesiology students sought after before they've even left SCU. And that's something that we're really proud of in preparing our students to take the next steps, which of course is employment. Accounting is another impressive statistic for us. And students do incredibly well in the field with accounting. And my roommate, my senior year, was studying accounting, and he worked very hard. He was always studying, but he also passed the CPA his very first attempt. So I know that SCU prepared him well. Now, a couple of admission updates just to wrap up here. We're test optional this year, and so students don't need to test before coming to SCU. Transfers, in fact, we're really going to look at your transfer credits as a big part of how we review you. We offer a full on-campus experience, meaning that we're going to have events and we're going to do a lot of fun things in person, just so long as we're able to maintain a safe and healthy campus. We also have an incredible potential for $13,000 a year in scholarships for you. And lastly, you can apply for free using the code FUTUREFIRE at scu.edu/apply. I'll throw that in the chat box, but that is about it. So thanks, and best of luck with everything.
All right, thank you, Tyler. Next up, we have Lindsay from Western Colorado.
Thank you so much, and thanks to everyone joining us live and on the recording. We're really appreciative of your time today and hope that this is really informative for you. What you're seeing here is a picture of campus at Western Colorado University. I was a student at Western and graduated in 2016 and have been a regional director of recruitment for Western since. And I think that this picture kind of speaks to the close-knitness of campus, but also of the town itself. So Western is located in Gunnison, Colorado. We have about 8,000 people in the town, including the college, and our undergraduate enrollment is around 3,000 students. Some of my favorite things about being a student at Western, and others as well, is that our backyard is nature's best classroom. So we certainly offer quite a few STEM-related programs. Wildlife biology is really popular at Western, exercise and sports science, environment and sustainability, recreation, outdoor education. Those are all really popular majors on campus. But even if you're not necessarily a student in those areas of study, like I was a communications major at Western, you can still have opportunities to do research and have hands-on learning out in the field of what you're learning in the classroom. Western is surrounded by millions of acres of BLM land, national forest land, 750 miles of single track trails. So tons of opportunities, both for learning and for recreation as well. Our average class size is 17 students, but you'll never sit in a class larger than about 50. We do cap all of our classes right around that number. The biggest class that I ever had as a Western student was about 42 students in an intro to psychology class my freshman year. And the smallest class that I had at Western was 8 students. So you really get that one-on-one interaction with your professor. You get one-on-one interaction with your peers, but also some really good advising opportunities as well. As far as affordability goes, Western's out-of-state tuition is $18,600 per year, which is considerably below the national average for out-of-state tuition, so we're relatively affordable in that sense. 80% of students on campus do receive financial aid in the form of grants or scholarships, which is money that does not have to be paid back. For transfer students, our merit-based scholarships range anywhere from $4,500 per year all the way up to $7,000 per year. So if you're a Phi Theta Kappa member, that $7,000 scholarship is totally automatic for you. And anything below that is automatic for you if you're not a Phi Theta Kappa member. But if you have above a 3.0, you'll automatically receive at least $4,500 per year to attend Western. We do have other scholarships, including our common scholarship application, which will apply to over 40 different scholarships on our website, program-based scholarships, and other opportunities that you can apply for as well. But that merit scholarship is 100% automatic, and every single student is considered for it. And there's nothing extra that you have to do other than apply to Western and qualify for that scholarship. As far as services that we offer to students, this is certainly not a comprehensive list, but just some things that I really like to mention. We have an academic resource center that houses disability services, career services, academic advising, study abroad, the office of the registrar. So quite a few resources within that office. But every single transfer student that comes to Western will be automatically paired with an academic advisor who will help make sure that your transition onto campus is really smooth and we're getting you registered for all of the courses that you need in order to stay on track to graduate. Then if you haven't quite declared a major yet at Western, which you have until the end of your sophomore year, so if you're transferring in as a sophomore, you can still have time to declare a major at Western. But once you declare a major, you'll be assigned or get to choose an academic advisor within your actual program. So this will be a professor in your academic major who will help walk you through the rest of your time at Western. We also have career services. So if you're looking for a work study job or an internship or a career after you graduate, our career services office will sit down with you one-on-one and help you with those options. We also have a math tutoring center and a writing center. So if you need any help with math homework or studying for a math test or want help editing a paper, you can certainly stop in our math tutoring center, writing center any day of the week and get help with those things. We also have an EPIC mentorship program. And these are students, they're current students at Western, they're sophomores through seniors. And every single transfer student is automatically paired with an EPIC mentor. And they're just there to help make sure, again, that your transition onto campus is smooth, but also that you have a friendly face to interact with as soon as you get to campus. So they're a really great peer resource for you as well. If you're interested in visiting campus, we would love to have you. We are open for in-person campus tours. And if you can't make it to campus, that's totally fine as well. We have a virtual tour option on our website. You can find those at western.edu/visit. And you can find other ways to engage with us in our recruitment events calendar there on that second link. If you're interested in applying, you can go to western.edu/apply. We do operate off of rolling admissions. We are test optional, and you can use the code GOWESTERN2021 for waiving your $30 application fee. And that is all that I have for you today. Feel free to take a screenshot of this and contact me with any questions that you have. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Excellent. Thank you, Lindsay. Now, Catherine is up from University of Colorado Boulder.
Hello, everybody. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Monday so far. My name is Katie Carter, and I am a transfer admission counselor at the University of Colorado Boulder. So let me pull up my screen here. Okay. So at CU Boulder, opportunity is absolutely everywhere, and we encourage students to begin looking for that opportunity by customizing their education. So students have the ability to customize their education through the 110 plus majors we offer, 50 plus minors, 40 concurrent bachelor master's programs, and over 100 certificate programs as well. To go through all 8 of our colleges, schools, and programs in great detail, but I would like to go over them just briefly for everyone to be aware of what we offer here at CU. So first, we have our College of Arts and Sciences. This is going to house the majority of our arts and humanities programs, as well as social sciences. We have, let's see, There we go. We have our College of Engineering and Applied Science, which has top 20 programs, specifically in aerospace, chemical, and environmental engineering. Next, we have our Leeds School of Business, which is also a top 20 business program for public institutions in the United States. Our College of Media, Communication, and Information, which houses our communication, our journalism, our information science majors. We have our program in environmental design, which is actually the most popular environmental design program in the United States, which is super exciting. The College of Music, which we always joke is our smallest but our loudest college. And they actually have a brand new building on campus, which is absolutely gorgeous, with additional audition and performance space added in. We have our School of Education, which has a 100% job placement rate within 6 months of graduation. And last but definitely not least, we have our program in exploratory studies for students that maybe don't know exactly what they want to do quite yet. As a transfer student, it is 100% okay to not have it all figured out, which is why we have the program in exploratory studies for students that are looking for that very intentional career exploration and academic advising. So obviously, while you are here for an education, at the end of the day, we do want you to find balance in your life. So we are looking for students to also get out and be involved on campus or in the Boulder community. A couple of ways that students do this is by visiting our state-of-the-art rec center, potentially maybe getting out for a hike, listening to a podcast with our 300+ days of sunshine that we have every year. The closest ski and snowboard resort is only about 45 minutes from campus, and we do have buses that take students there. We have El Dorado Canyon if students are interested in rock climbing or hiking. And even though we are a landlocked state, we do have the Boulder Reservoir if you are interested in getting out on the water. So if you are interested in applying to CU Boulder, here is a checklist of the things that we will ask of you. You will be required to complete our online CU Boulder specific transfer application. There is a $50 application fee. It is $70 for international students. However, we do offer application fee waiver codes. So if you are interested in one of those, definitely feel free to reach out to me directly. We do only require one personal statement to be written. And then we do require official high school transcripts and then unofficial college transcripts. And then if you have completed less than 24 hours of college credit, we do require your ACT or SAT score. At this point in time, we are looking at going test optional for students that graduated in 2021 or later, graduated high school in 2021 or later. And if you are interested in applying for the fall of 2021, there is still a little bit of time left. That deadline is not until June 1st. But if you are interested in looking ahead to the next academic year, the spring of 2022 deadline will be on October 1st, and then summer and fall of 2022, March 15th for that early notification fall deadline, and then June 1st again. If you are interested in connecting with us on social media, we definitely encourage you to do so at Future Buffs. We do a lot of Instagram live events for students to connect with us in live time, get their questions answered, and just make sure that we are connecting with you, especially in this virtual world. I know that everything is starting to get back to normal, and hopefully it stays that way, but we do definitely want to connect with you in any way that we can. And on a last minute note, we are planning to do mostly in-person courses for the fall semester. That is our plan. We are hoping that we can stick to it as long as nothing crazy happens in our world in the next couple of months, which, you know, no one would have ever thought that this is where we would be. So let's just hope that everything keeps getting better. And then, like I said, I work with all students from the state of Tennessee. So please feel free to contact me directly if you have any questions or if you'd like to set up a virtual one-on-one appointment. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Catherine. And next up, we have St. John's College.
Hi, I'm Randall Hollinsby. I'm from St. John's College. Let's see, can you see my screen yet?
Not yet.
There's usually a little hesitation.
There you go. It is.
All right.
Perfect. Up.
There we go. St. John's College, one college, two campuses. I'm an associate director of admissions at St. John's College in Santa Fe. We are in Annapolis, Maryland, and have been since 1696. We are also in Santa Fe, New Mexico at the southern tip of the Rockies. And at the end of any successfully completed year, you can transfer to the other campus. The college is best known for our Great Books program. We are liberal arts majors. We have an all required curriculum, and there is only one major at St. John's College. All of our classes are discussion classes. All of our classes are small. We don't use textbooks, and we only study primary sources. So instead of reading a book called Fun with Calculus, you actually read Isaac Newton's book, The Principia Mathematica. If you were looking for a small college experience, St. John's could be perfect for you. We take 450 undergrads on each campus, no more. Our average class size is about 10. Our largest class is about 20, and we have a 7-to-1 student to teacher ratio. We are roughly 50-50 female male. 20% of our students are international, and another 20% identify as students of color. In 2019, thanks to generous donations from our alumni, we cut our tuition from $52,000 to $35,000. And that may still sound like a lot, but on top of that, we offer great merit scholarships and generous financial aid. What do students do with this unusual education? 20% will go into education, 20% into business. Nearly 40% go into a wide range of careers, everything from guitar making to neurosurgery. We send about 10% of our graduates into law and nearly that many into medicine every year. This is 20 times the national average. In fact, over the last 5 years, everyone who applied to law school from St. John's was accepted. The medicine acceptance rate is about the same. I just didn't feel like doing another slide. I encourage you to read about us at the Princeton Review, US News and World Report, and Forbes.com. You don't have to take my word for it. We are proud members of the Colleges That Change Lives group. For fun, we lean toward individual sports and away from big NCAA Division I, Division III, any of that. Fencing is big at St. John's, crew and sailing, rock climbing, hiking, cycling, chess and go, video and board games. And of course, we continue our dominance of collegiate croquet. We are on the Common App, Coalition app, and we have our own application. We are still taking applications for fall. We have been test optional for 40 years. We are a first-gen forward school. Here's my contact information. And I would like to share that about 30% of our students are transfer students, which is a little bit unusual because we take no transfer credit. Everyone starts over, everyone starts fresh at St. John's College. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you, Randall. Next up, we have Julia from the University of Melbourne.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. My name is Julia, and I work for the University of Melbourne, based in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. So today I'm going to just go over some of the advantages. Our bachelor's degrees are only 3 years, and we are part of the group of 8 universities, which means were comparable to an Ivy League institution down under at a much more affordable price. And of course, this is a great time in your life, to have a really amazing adventure in a beautiful city, in a beautiful country. So UniMelb is ranked #1 in Australia, and we are ranked 25 globally. We are a large public research intensive university with 50,000 students. So about 25% are undergraduate students and 25,000 would be graduate students. So we really have everything on offer, everything from business to humanities to STEM, performing arts, and more. And as you can see, a lot of these are ranked quite high globally. A lot of them are in the top 20 globally. So one thing that's going to be a little bit different about an Australian degree is that it's a little more focused and you apply directly to the program you're interested in. You do not have to choose your major straight away, but you do need to have an idea of what you want to study. But we do have all sorts of options that you would be able to find at a large public institution here in the States as well. Perfect. Our application and admissions policy is pretty straightforward. So there's no essays, no personal statements, no references or extracurriculars that are considered. It's strictly going to be based on your GPA, and it's pretty transparent. So if you meet the entry requirements, you'll most likely get an offer. So if you are applying with at least 1 year of university, you basically have to meet the prerequisites for the class, and we would be looking at a 3.0 or above. If you're applying with less than a year of uni, we would have you apply with your high school grades, SAT or ACT, and your uni grades, and you'd still need to meet the prereqs. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about how credits transfer, we have a credit calculator here. It's not exhaustive, but it does give you an idea of what things are going to transfer through. The academic calendar is a little different down under. So Sem 1 is March to June and Sem 2 is July to November. That also means winter break is going to be in July and summer is November to Feb. So you will enjoy, quite a warm winter holiday rather than, having lots of sweaters. So a lot of times people think that international universities are going to cost a fortune, and in many cases, they can be quite comparable to in-state options. You can use U.S. student loans to fund tuition and living expenses. We participate with the U.S. direct loan program, but we don't have any financial aid or grants like that. This is sort of a cost comparison of what it would be compared to some in-state options in California compared to UniMelb. So you can see we're quite a bit cheaper than a private institution, and you can see we're about comparable to some of the state options. So we definitely appreciate that your education is going to be one of the biggest investments that you ever make. So we are really proud to rank 7 in the world for graduate employability. We really have a robust career service department, a lot of internships, 1,600 industry partners, all sorts of undergraduate research, and a huge alumni network across the world. So this is where our campus is. We're quite close to downtown. We're Australia's 2nd oldest university, so that means lots of beautiful old buildings as well. But we definitely do have modern facilities as well. So best of both worlds. So one of the best parts about studying at UniMelb is that you get to live in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne was rated the most livable city in the world for 7 years in a row. We've fallen from grace a little bit, and we're currently at number 2, so still pretty good. But very multicultural, lot of, I think it's 25% of Australians have at least one parent born overseas, so very diverse and welcoming place to live and study. And our student population is about 40% international students. And that really means that everyone's sort of, you know, in the same boat where they're away from their home country, and, you know, they're really looking to make friends. We're also quite close to the Great Ocean Road, which is a really beautiful place you can look up. It's one of the most lovely beaches. Thank you guys so much for your time. Please sign up for our mailing list if you have a chance to find out about upcoming events. And I also recommend, if you want to hear more in-depth information, book a one-on-one Zoom call. Thanks very much.
Excellent. And now we have the University of Manchester.
Hello. Let me just link the presentation. Hope everyone can see that.
Yep, you're all set.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Annually. I'm an international officer. I represent the University of Manchester. We are Britain's largest single site university, and we were established in 1824. So we have a proud history of innovation and world's first, some of which are listed here. So in 1917, we have Ernest Rutherford, who split the atom. In 1948, we have Kilburn and Williams, who built the world's first stored program computer. And in 1957, Lovell, who built the world's largest steerable radio telescope. The University of Manchester is part of the UK's Russell Group, which identifies 24 world-class research-intensive universities. So for folks in the US, a lot of people understand this to be the UK's version of the Ivy Leagues. It's not a direct translation, but it's similar. So we do have a unique vision, and we're proud to boast our 25 Nobel laureates amongst our staff and students, with 2 currently teaching on campus. We have 1 in the physics department and 1 in the math department. We're also the top UK university for 2 years running for social and environmental impact. Some of our rankings, we are ranked 27th in the world according to the QS World Rankings. We are also 6th in the UK and 8th in Europe, not to mention our individual programs are highly ranked. 83% of research is judged to be world leading or internationally excellent, which of course is a standard of being part of the Russell Group. We're first choice for graduate employers in the UK. So we have several students from our engineering school building Formula 1 cars in Monte Carlo, which I think is very cool. And then we have regular recruiters coming to campus for our students. These are global recruiters. So IBM, BBC, Apple, Jaguar are big accounting, or the biggest accounting and tax companies like PwC, KPMG. There's AstraZeneca, which is constantly in the news, possibly every day, if not every week. They're developing the vaccine for COVID-19. So these are big companies, and they like to come and recruit our students. And we already have relationships with a lot of these companies. Some of our popular courses. So we have 3 faculties: our Faculty of Science and Engineering, our Faculty of Biology, Medicine, and Health, and then our Faculty of Humanities, which also houses our business school. These are some of the popular courses for students, particularly from North America. We have popular degrees, which can be studied at the undergraduate level. So that includes law and medicine. In the UK, these are undergraduate courses, not postgraduate. Here are some of our popular ones: sociology and criminology, physics and math, computer science and AI, which I think is an obvious one. These days, politics and international relations and creative writing. So the humanities is pretty strong, has pretty strong interest for North American students. So your Manchester student experience, we are home to over 40,000 students from 160 nationalities, over 10,000 international students on our campus. So that makes us one of the most international and diverse universities in the UK. The university and the city are also of the most affordable places for students seeking a degree in the UK. The living cost and tuition together is about 40,000 to 48,000, excluding the School of Medicine, because that works a bit differently. But again, it's very affordable if you compare it to some of the schools in the big cities in the US. So when it comes to your career, we offer amazing options for you at university. And of course, once you graduate. So most of our degrees will have the option to integrate a year abroad. You'll hear this referred to as the year in industry or a sandwich year. It's basically a graduate level internship that is relevant to your degree. It is paid, it's a full-time job. So instead of, traveling and studying somewhere else, you're actually working in your industry for that full year. So if you are studying marketing, then your year in industry is going to be a marketing job. You'll also have opportunities for summer internships, for volunteering, outreach programs, maybe a part-time job if that's something of interest to you. There are many support systems in place at Manchester to help you with that journey. Career Services is a big one that you will likely use. They offer one-to-one appointments, and they will assist you with writing your CV, helping you with applications to internships, and many more. And I'll look at our campus. Here are just several photos. We're located in the second largest city in the UK. So Manchester, the city has its own firsts. So it's the birthplace of vegetarianism, feminism, and the Industrial Revolution. The university has over 400 clubs and societies. This includes sports, so swimming, debate, different affinity groups, whatever it is that you're interested in, you can participate or not participate in any of those clubs and societies. We also have our accommodation guarantee for international students. So the best news there is that all of our rooms are single occupancy. You'll never have to share a room. The only decision you'll have to make is if you're going to choose the self-catered or the catered option. And we have over 500,000 alumni in 190 countries. They're doing amazing work, and we look forward to new students joining that community. Our website has, of course, all the information, and there's prospectuses that you can download. Those are very useful. Visiting a university, of course, is very useful, but difficult and challenging at this time. But I do recommend if you visit our website and if you go to our country pages, there's a UniBuddy app that will pop up in the bottom right corner, and you can actually speak to some of our students directly. You can filter by course of study or by country of nationality. So if you want to hear from a student that's studying something similar to you or from North America, you can select and choose, and you can filter and talk to those students and hear about the campus. And lastly, here's my contact information. You can write my email down. I'm happy to schedule one-to-one Zooms with anybody who wants to learn more about Manchester. And I look forward to speaking to you. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you all. Now, can I ask all of the presenters to turn on their cameras briefly? We have a bit more time for some questions. So I'm going to share 1 second. So we have 3 questions, and the first question here is, and we'll go round robin style and start right from the beginning. What advice would you give someone going through the transfer process? So let us start from the top.
Awesome. So the advice I would give to anyone going through the transfer process, well, it's different for every student, but as far as finding your fit goes and making sure that the next school is the right one, I would say to look for a couple non-negotiables. When I was at my first school, I didn't know my non-negotiables yet. And so that's why I ended up at my first school and transferred away from that first school. But during my time at the first school, I realized that I needed a small class size. I needed a school that was going to grow me spiritually. And I also wanted an environment that was athletically competitive. And everyone has different non-negotiables, but finding 2 or 3, I think, would help a lot.
My piece of advice for you going through your transfer process would be to actually visit schools that you're interested in. I know right now some schools are not necessarily open for in-person visits, but certainly find the ones that you're interested in that are. And for those that aren't offering in-person visits, engage with them as much as possible in the virtual world and see if you can get an understanding of what the campus would be like and if you would be a good fit.
I would give two small pieces of advice. The first being start early. Just like start exploring your options early. Make sure that you have enough time to get things in by the deadline so you're not stressing at the last minute, and also just so you can plan ahead. And then the second, kind of echoing what Tyler said, figure out why you want to transfer. Figure out what is making you not love your current institution, because that can help you figure out what institution would be right for you if they maybe have some of the things that your current institution doesn't. So definitely identify the reasons behind why you are wanting to transfer.
So following up on that, I would say it's important to make sure that you're not making a stupid mistake when you transfer. For example, if you're transferring because you don't like a roommate, you can get a roommate where you are. If you don't like the food, you can find new food. The reason you transfer is because someone else has a better program, a better way of life, a better standard of living, and better options for you down the road.
University of Melbourne.
Hi guys. So I guess for me, my recommendation is to think, a little bit outside the box. I know when I was an undergraduate student, I wasn't really thinking internationally at all. And I did grad school in Australia, and I highly recommend looking at different options out of your own state or out of your home country. There's a lot of really affordable, excellent options on offer.
I would say two things. One, I would say for transferring to the UK, with the exception of Scotland, UK undergraduate degrees are 3 years long. So do you want to do a little bit of research about the different programs that you're interested in? And the second thing I would say is when you're doing that research, there's a lot of secondary information out there. Some of it is wrong, maybe not intentionally wrong, but some of it is out of date. And the best place to get the correct information is to speak to one of us here, a counselor directly from that university, or go to the university's page, because that's where the most current and up-to-date information is going to live.
Wonderful. And now another question. What is your favorite event or tradition on campus, Tyler?
Yeah, my favorite event on campus, we do Battle of the Dorms each year. So if you're looking at a larger school that has a fraternity sorority, it's got some of that feeling. Now, obviously, as a Christian school, small private Christian school, it's not going to look like a fraternity or sorority might. My brother and sister were both in Greek life, so I could tell you that. But we have a lot of fun playing a lot of games, getting to know students. It's a great way to kick off the year. It looked a little bit different last year, but still was a great way for students to engage early and make good relationships that would go throughout hopefully the 4 years.
My favorite event on campus is during homecoming. Our mountain rescue team goes up to Tenderfoot Mountain, and we have a large W on the side of the mountain, and we light it on fire every year for homecoming. So students and alumni look forward to that every year.
My favorite event on campus is the University of Colorado Boulder, Colorado State University football game. Normally it's the first football game of the year, so it's still nice and warm outside. And oftentimes we actually play that game at the Broncos Stadium in Denver, which is only about 30 minutes away, but super spirited, really fun way to just kick off the football season and also just kick off the beginning of the school year.
So on both of our campuses, we have waltz parties. And that sounds like it's not a big deal. Anyone can waltz, anyone can learn to waltz. But St. John's is the third oldest college in the United States. We started in 1696 when waltzing was the cutting edge of dancing, of entertainment. So we've been waltzing a long time.
So one of my favorite traditions at Uni Melb is we have a really great farmers market on Wednesdays. Melbourne is really famous for foods, so that's one thing that I really love.
Lastly, at Manchester, we have Global Week, which is actually coming up, and it's just a week to celebrate diversity and to celebrate culture. So again, with having 160 nationalities represented on campus, that's a lot of culture to be celebrated, food, music. It lasts the whole week, so there's always something new you can learn and some new friends you could make.
Wonderful. And last question, one of my favorites, give an interesting or fun fact about your school, Tyler.
Oh, goodness. Interesting or fun fact. We are located right next to Disney. And so I don't know that there's an official statistic, but we probably have about 30% of the student body that have year-round passes. So you would not find a lot of the student body on a Saturday morning. They will be on their way to Disney.
Fun fact about Western, how I mentioned our mountain rescue team goes up and lights that W on fire every year for homecoming. We actually have the only collegiate certified mountain rescue team in the nation. So offering some really great training and certifications around that as well.
A fun fact about CU Boulder is that CU Boulder actually was founded the same year that Colorado became a state. So it is the flagship institution of the state of Colorado, which is super, super fun.
St. John's College, we have our own sport. You get that kind of thing with a really old school. It's called Spartan Madball, and there aren't a lot of rules. It showed up in the world about the same time as rugby, but it's a little rougher.
So something fun about Uni Melb, one of our parking lots, which is called a car park in Australian English, was in the Mad Max film.
We've got, well, the John Rylands Library, which is basically like being at Hogwarts.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. We are wrapping up our virtual college fair. After you close this window, you will get a very quick 4-question survey. Sign up for more sessions for today, and this recording will also be available at strivescan.com/Tennessee. Thank you all to the panelists for joining us, and thank you to all the attendees, and we hope you have a good evening. Take care, everyone.